Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Roads on Icy Worlds recognition ceremony. I am the director of NESSP, Dr. Darcy Snowden. Later, I'll be joined by the associate director, Mary Denman. First of all, I would like to celebrate all the teams that participated in the challenge this year. We looked through all the submissions and all the checkpoint challenge submissions as well. And we've truly enjoyed reading your MDLs and watching your videos. Seeing all the great pictures of the students working hard and making discoveries and overcoming challenges has really been a joy. We've also really enjoyed seeing all the different approaches to each challenge. Each team developed different experimental methods, different approaches to carrying the payloads on the drones, different ways to build the maps, different approaches to getting their rovers to pick up the samples. And what you did really showed what can be accomplished when we allow students to unleash their creativity and build on their own knowledge. We hope that you enjoyed learning about the icy worlds in our solar system. There's a lot of them and there's a lot to learn. I really hope that each student that participated in this challenge gets to look through a telescope soon and see the 4 icy moons, including Europa, orbiting Jupiter. Hopefully, when you do see them, you'll feel a little closer to those bodies that are so far away. Okay, so that's my introduction. What we want to do now is recognize some of the top teams and top MDLs for this challenge. The top team recognitions go to high-scoring teams whose final submission included a complete attempt for each mission objective. The team's MDLs clearly laid out the team's approach, any pitfalls and how they were addressed, and the final solution. Okay, so we'll go ahead and get started. In the JUICE division, or the upper elementary division, the top team is the BSMA Explorers from Meridian, Idaho. We would like to say congrats and a great job to this team, including Sarah, Apollo, Ophelia, Tegan, Jet, Coda, McKinsey, and their leader through it all, the mission advisor, Leanna Shafter. So here you can see some fun pictures of them working it out. In the Clipper or middle school division, we had a lot of tough competition, or not competition, but a lot of teams submitting. So for this division, the top team is Europa's Warriors from Paul, Idaho, another great Idaho team. For this team, we'd like to recognize the work of Andrew, Wesley, Brody, Natika, Aiden, Tiana, Avery, Clark, and their mission advisor, Brandy Milleran. And again, here you can see some great photos that this team submitted of them working. In the Voyager, our high school division, we've got the Red-Tailed Hawks, HS01 high school team, and they're from Mukilteo, Washington. You can see their great mission patch there. For this team, we'd like to recognize the outstanding work of Ashitha, Manny, Marquise, Saimi, I apologize if I say your name wrong, Isaac, and their mission advisor, Gianna Milton. And again, some great photos then of this team working. We've got a unique team that we also want to recognize that had a great final submission, but in this case, the whole school participated in the challenge. So we're calling this our top school. So we would like to recognize the work of the Mega Coolbots from Bellingham, Washington. And in this case, they're from the Lumination School, and they have the mission advisor, Gary Brandt. So great work. We hope you guys continue as a school to participate in our roads challenges. That was really fun to see. Okay, those are our top teams. Next up, we'd like to go through a long list of teams that we would like to recognize for having excellent components of the challenge. The first one is the best MDL, or as you guys should all know, the mission development log. First up, in the Clipper division, we would like to recognize the great work of the RS Spacehawks Sparks division. This is one of the great submissions that we got from teams in Puerto Rico. And speaking of that, for the next recognition in the Voyager or high school division, we have another Puerto Rico team. And this one is Puerto Rico's next generation science and engineering team, submitting an excellent MDL. Up next, we have our Roads on Icy World's Best Mission video. For this, we would like to recognize the Seagram Science Club in the Clipper division, and there you can see their mission patch. Okay, so moving along now, we're going to go ahead and recognize the teams for each mission objective. The first one is Mission Objective 2, Map Development Checkpoint Challenge. This one, as you guys all know, was quite challenging. A lot of time, I think, was taken making these maps. The first team we would like to recognize is the Ice Rats in the Clipper division from Idaho. You can see a fun picture of them working there. Next up, we would like to recognize the Moscow Space Dragons in the Voyager division, also from Idaho. We had a lot of great Idaho teams. We would also like to recognize the BMSA Explorers in the Juice division, also from Idaho. Okay, next up, we've got Mission Objective 3. And this one was the Inside Europa model. So this is looking at what's on the inside of Europa, one of the most important things that scientists are studying. The first team we'd like to recognize is the Flaming Eagles from Oregon. They're in the Clipper division. They had a really fun mission patch you can see there. Next up, in the Voyager division, we'd like to recognize the Timberwolves for this mission objective. Okay, moving on, we've got Mission Objective 4. This is explaining Europa's surface, something on the surface. You can see that in the picture below. Okay, first team we'd like to recognize in the Clipper division is Team Bubba from Oregon. In our Voyager division, we would like to recognize the RS Spacehawks, the Galileo division. So a couple of teams coming from that school in Puerto Rico. Next up, we've got Best Mission Objective 5. This is that Yeast ID Card Checkpoint Challenge. A lot of fun was had, it looks like, doing this one. We would like to recognize the Mega Cool Bots from the Juice division for this checkpoint challenge. Next up, we would like to recognize Puerto Rico's Next Generation Science and Engineering team in the Voyager division from Puerto Rico. Next up, also in the Voyager division, the team who must not be named from New Mexico. And we have Europa's Warriors in the Clipper division from Idaho. And last but not least, we have the JMS Robotics from the Clipper division, also from the state of Idaho. Okay, next we'd like to recognize Best Mission Objective 6. This was the drone one, landing site and drone landing, landing site selection and drone landing. The first team we'd like to recognize is the Red-Tailed Hawks middle school team, MS-01 in the Clipper division. And I guess that's the, there was just one team, okay? And then next up, we combine the two rover mission objectives into one. So this is 7 and 8. This is surface navigation and sample collection. The first team we'd like to recognize is, again, the Ice Rats from the Clipper division from the state of Idaho. And then next up in the Voyager division, we would like to recognize the team who must not be named, but we're going to name them from New Mexico. Okay, last but not least is a fun one for the mission objectives. This is the mission patch development. Seeing all the mission patches was, again, one of the joys of going through the MDLs. First up is the Lunar Ladies, who had this really fun mission patch here, taking on the theme of things being cold and frozen. The Lunar Ladies are from Oregon, and they are in the Voyager division. Next up, we've got the Sun Ray Bobcat X Explorers World Hunters. It's a good name. They are also in the Voyager division, and this team is from Texas, and you can see their mission patch there. We had a new award this year, inspired by our past director, Dr. Robert Wingley. Those who knew him well knew that he liked to take chances and wing it like Wingly. Sometimes you have to take a chance in order to make good progress. So we would like to reward teams that took a chance and maybe things didn't work out as expected, but they could explain what they learned from it. So for this Wing It Like Wingly Award, we'd like to recognize the Flaming Llamacorns B team. I like that name. They're in the Clipper division from the state of Arizona. Okay, so I want to emphasize we are recognizing all of the teams that participated in the challenge. Thank you so much. These are the teams. We will go to the what's next slide. If you are the mission advisor for one of these teams, we will be sending out some payloads to help your students continue to be inspired by NASA's science. So if you're the mission advisor for this team, make sure to check your emails from NESSP confirming your team's address and team members. The email will come from info@nessp.org. That's our new email. So make sure that you put that in your contacts so it doesn't go into the spam. The last thing I want to say before passing it off to Mary is that, again, the theme of this challenge was icy worlds, but we were also focused in on a particular upcoming NASA mission called Europa Clipper. So as you guys go through the rest of your education, keep up with Europa and Europa Clipper in particular. This spacecraft just arrived at JPL this week, and it's going to stay there getting prepared for launch in October of 2024. So stay tuned for that. Okay, I'm passing it off to Mary for some exciting news about the future.
Yes, I'm sure a lot of our teams are eager to see what's next. So our first clue is we're going back. We have a short video for you.
Ignition sequence start. All engines are running.
We have taken tremendous steps.
We choose to go to the moon before this decade is out.
We have achieved the earth-shaking, the breathtaking, the groundbreaking,
One small step for man.
and left a mark in the heavens. Our successes build one upon another and amplify what is possible.
The dawn of Orion.
It's time we take the next great leap. We're building the next chapter of American exploration, returning to the moon to stay, so we can go beyond to Mars, to expand what's possible and further our understanding. The architecture for these missions is already taking shape. We will go with new systems, bold designs, and a sustainable mission. You can hear it, taste it, touch it. We are going. We are training, testing, pressing our pioneering spirit into every component, defining our resolve with every line of code, and securing our success with every welcomed partnership. This is not hypothetical. This is not about flags and footprints. This is about sustainable science and feeding forward the advance of the human spirit. Because we are the pioneers, the star sailors, the thinkers, the visionaries, the doers. And because we stand on the shoulders of giants to go farther than humanity has ever been, we will add our names to the rolls of the greatest adventurers in history. Every day, every mission, we advance this calling. We are NASA. And after 60 years, we're just getting started.
Okay, so hopefully that got y'all excited because our announcement is that our next Rhodes Challenge will be Artemis Rhodes. NASA is going back to the moon, and so is NESSP. Our Rhodes journey first started actually not with the acronym Rhodes, but with ANGLES, the Apollo Next Giant Leap Student Challenge, which was our first national challenge that some of you might have participated in. And so for 2022, we are going back with Artemis Rhodes. Here is our lovely mission patch for you all to take a look at. And we will be launching in fall 2022. We're not going to give anything else away on this slide, but there might be some clues about your future mission in these photos here. If you'd like to quick take a look, take a screen grab and start thinking about that. And we are so excited. Again, really want to congratulate all of the Icy Worlds teams. Y'all did such an excellent job, and we are excited for our upcoming Artemis roads. That's all I have. That's our big reveal for the day.
Thank you, guys. We're signing off.